What's going on, everybody? It is your boy here, Controversy. Today, guys, I'm going to be interviewing someone who I've been wanting to interview for a pretty long time now, and that is Chicago native and former rapper beonby. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Bro, first and foremost, how are you doing, man? Like, I think it's been 2 years, man. Jesus heck.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I'm doing good though. How have you been?
Doing good, man. I've been pretty busy. I'm actually in college now, so
Where are you going?
I'm going to PCC.
Mm,
Yeah, Portland Community College. I'm trying to get my associates in graphic design. In a couple of years,
nice,
and then I want to transfer to PSU in a couple of years.
nice. You
Yeah,
liking
man.
college? I'm gonna start applying soon. So, uh,
So you're a
yeah,
senior now, huh?
I'm gonna be a senior in a few
You're
months.
gonna be.
Yeah,
Oh
but
man,
the
that's cool.
process starts now, I guess.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's very busy. Very time consuming. It's not
Yeah,
like
I bet.
Man, it's not like high school where I actually found time to make music, and like
Mm,
do YouTube, but like nowadays it's like I have no time to do any of that stuff, and luckily I managed to get on break, so that's kind of why I'm doing this.
yeah,
And then I gotta go
yeah,
back next week. But yeah,
yeah.
man,
Grind don't stop.
oh yeah, but it's been interesting though. Like I've taken a lot of interesting classes geared towards my degree, like photography, which I've never taken that, and
Mm,
it's been a really interesting experience, man, for sure.
yeah, yeah. Sounds awesome.
But how about you, man? Like, what have you been up to in these past 2 years?
Well, obviously, I'm not very involved with the community as much anymore.
Mm.
I said in my, I guess, like retirement statement that I'd only be on Instagram and just like kind of like observing. I had been. I've just been seeing what people are up to, not like stalking, but like just seeing, what's going on. I saw like Cloudy's having a kid and
Yeah, man.
uh,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And Phoenix is still doing his thing. Kenji's still doing his thing. I mean, you guys to an extent, you're still doing your thing because of college and stuff. It's really awesome to see all you guys still doing your thing and really exciting to see all that.
Thank you,
I've
man. Yeah.
just been I've been really busy with school. Um, uh, and junior year especially. I mean, I'm sure you can relate. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
crazy and
Oh
hectic.
man, for sure.
Trying to keep up grades, doing all standardized tests, applying to college. It's been crazy. So even if I hadn't retired, I don't think I would have had any time to do anything in the past few years,
Oh
even if I
yeah.
had wanted to. But yeah, that's pretty much been about it. Just spending time with family and doing school. So that's pretty much been my life.
No, man, bro. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, I can completely relate to that. That's kind of me as well. Because
Yeah.
if it's not like going to school during the week, it's going to work. And then
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's definitely like a continuing cycle. Um so I'm very curious, tell me more about what happened after Peaceful Chaos, your EP, because I was held under the impression that you were going to drop an album. So what happened
Yeah.
after that?
So yeah, the original intent was for Peaceful Chaos to be an album, actually.
Oh, okay.
I started writing, I was actually doing, I mean, when I remember, it's obviously been quite a while, but I
Mm.
was writing and it was going really well. I got, obviously, those 5 songs done. And then I kind of hit like a major writer's block. And obviously, I mean, you can probably relate to this as well. I had a writer's block and
Oh yeah.
um, something happens to everyone, but this was pretty like major. And obviously, it wasn't the reason that like I decided, you know what, fuck it, this will just be like an EP. But I was like, maybe this will be like a good starting point because I wanted like my next album to be like bigger and better than anything I'd ever done. So
Oh
this would be
yeah.
like, I guess, a good starting point. Um, and then I don't know, afterwards, I got to work after the release, I got to work on the new album. And I have like so many documents and like old FL Studio files and like probably like a lot of gigabytes of stuff that I was doing
Oh wow.
for the album. And eventually I just realized, like, I don't know, like I got so caught up in the process that I realized that I wasn't really enjoying it anymore, if that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, yeah, I
So,
get that.
and I felt like if I wasn't enjoying it, then there was not really much point to doing it anymore. So, that was kind of what flipped the switch. And the night I posted my retirement, actually, I was in the studio, I guess you could call it. I was in the studio and I was working, and I was
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? Like, I am not having any fun anymore. And I don't even like what I'm listening to, because I was listening to something I just recorded and I was like, I don't even
Mm,
like this. Which, I mean, that's happened to me many times before. I'm sure it's happened to you or everyone else that's made music, but like this is so consistent, and I was like, I'm just not enjoying this anymore. So I was like, okay, I think it's time to move on.
wow. Man, and so it's like you almost made so much songs and like so much music to the point where it almost like took a toll on you, like physically. Is
Yeah.
that right? Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say physically, more like mentally, because I was just so
Oh, mental.
exhausted from all that stuff. Yeah, I'd written like so much stuff, and I was at that point like I didn't really know if anything that I'd written was good, or like even like I guess deserved to be put out there. And I
Mm,
didn't like anything I was making. I wasn't enjoying it. Like it just took such a toll on me mentally, like putting in so much work and not getting anything out of it, which is part of the process. But I mean, like I wasn't enjoying doing it anymore, which is pretty much the
okay.
reason that I guess it kind of ended. And I had said that in my statement as well. So uh, that was pretty much it.
Wow, man. Well, I'm telling you, bro, I don't know about anybody else, but I was definitely looking forward to, your next project because I remember listening to like O's Journey. This is like 3 years ago, like almost 3 years ago during the pandemic, and
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like this is great, man. This is a great concept. It's a great project. I still go back to it kind of, because there's just some songs there that I kind of like. But man, I was looking forward to your album, bro. I'm telling you, because I was like, really intrigued. Like, where is this dude gonna take it? Because I
Mhm.
was very, very interested. But as far as now, because I remember a couple months back, I think last year, I asked you if you wanted to do an interview, and then you said nah. And then I interviewed
Yeah.
Ghost or Phoenix or whatever, and then you commented on that, and it kind of looks like you wanted to do it. So what made you want to like be like, okay, maybe I should, do this, like what made you want to do that?
Yeah. So I guess just for context for everyone watching this interview, I got messaged by you a couple months back. I don't
Yeah, I
remember if
did.
this was in like December or January,
Yeah.
sometime around then.
I think it was
But
December, yeah.
yeah, anyway, sometime around then, you messaged me saying you want to do an interview. I said no. I guess I was just trying to like, I don't know, disassociate, not with like anyone
Okay, I
individually
get
from
that.
the community, but like just I don't know, like this there was so many like bad memories I had of like just feeling so terrible by like all the music making and shit, and
Oh
just like
yeah,
all the
man.
feelings that are around it. I was like, I don't know if really know if I could bring much like actual substance to the interview, because it would just be really shitty to talk about all that.
Okay.
Um, but then eventually, one night I was like just chilling in bed, and I was like, I wonder what everyone is up to in the community. So I was like
Mm,
looking back at all of your YouTube channels and seeing what you guys have been doing. And then I saw the interview that you did with Phoenix or Ghost, and I was like, damn, and then I skipped forward a little bit. It was just I didn't have time to watch the whole thing because I need to go
yes,
to bed. But I
honestly.
skipped around. I saw the part where you guys briefly mentioned me, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
huh, that's pretty interesting. I thought like everyone had like kind of forgotten about me, I guess. I was like,
No,
I thought
heck
it was
no.
still interesting that people had mentioned me. So I was like, maybe I'll do an interview just
Mm,
as like kind of like a closing statement. Obviously, I'm not like never going to talk to anyone in the community again, but this will be like a closing kind of interview, I guess, like
okay.
once and for all. Like yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, and it's also just good to catch up with everyone. So yeah, that was pretty much my thought
Okay.
process behind it.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, so you mentioned this is like the close off. Does that mean that like do you see yourself because you're doing this, like do you see yourself maybe in the future or like anytime soon making new music or getting back into the community like that or
I mean, it's always like I'm never gonna be like 100% shut off from it, or like 100% gonna always like be dead set and no on it. But like, I feel like the time is probably past. I mean, I
okay.
can't say for sure, obviously, But I mean, maybe if I feel like there have been times in the past few years where I've sat down and tried to like write something just off like the top of my head, just like found some beat on YouTube or something, and I like wrote like a verse or something. But I've never had like the desire to like come back and like write a full song and then record it and like master it and mix it and whatever and like produce it and release it and promote it. But I mean, if I ever do have that like drive, I'll definitely come back. But I mean, right now I'm just the thought hasn't occurred to me. I've never
Mm.
felt like the motivation to do stuff like that. But I mean, it's like never say never, I guess. So maybe in the future, but I mean, you'll obviously all know if that happens. I'll make some kind of announcement. But I mean, for right now, I don't think anytime in the future. But we'll see. I don't know.
Damn. Well, listen, man, I'm very, if you do decide to come back, I'm looking forward to it. I would definitely, I would love to work with you because, I've worked with I worked with Ghost, Epic, Slick, DJ, but I've not actually worked with you yet. And I remember
Yeah.
like, and 2 years ago, I was like, man, I want to feature beonby, my next project. And, but, sadly I didn't come. But hey, man, if you ever do decide to come back, we should work, man. We should
Yeah,
work.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be
But
the first person I'll let know.
all right, for sure, man. Yeah. And speaking on what you said about the community, you said you wanted to disassociate yourself. I actually relate to that very well, man, because once my senior year kicked in, I completely just and I still do this. I just I hardly ever go on Instagram anymore, and I kind of did disassociate myself from the community as well, more so after the whole beef with Ghost happened. That
Mm,
just absolutely ruined my perception of the community as a whole. Because I used to be very embracive of it, as you know. Like 3 years
right.
ago, I used like every day you would probably see most of the time you would see a video about someone or something. But
Mhm.
after the whole beef, that really woke me up and really kind of let me know, there's some guys here that like just kind of ruin, like this whole community, and it's almost to the point where I started realizing, you know what, I need to start focusing on me. Like I can't
Yeah,
be out here, making content of these people, especially on certain people that don't deserve it. But I
right.
still like you said, I still mess with Ghost, DJ, Slick, Epic, you like there's still people that I like, but overall, like you, it's not gonna be like 3 years ago where we used to be in the group chat, talking like that because
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
just
forgot we had a group chat.
yeah,
God damn,
right.
that brings back
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah, man. So yeah, so I definitely I relate to what you're saying right there. It's
Yeah,
you just kind of have to focus on yourself, and I've definitely have done that more. But
yeah.
yeah,
And then also I wanted to ask, like, because I don't remember like the Ghost and you beef was quite a while ago, but I mean,
it
I
was, man.
wanted to like ask about like what happened to like reconcile you guys, because like now you
Oh
guys
yeah, yeah,
are like chill again. But like, man, in those disses there were some pretty heavy shots thrown from both sides. So I wanted to
yeah.
know like what happened to like I guess
To
squash it or like
squash it.
I don't
Okay.
know, bring you guys back together.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was April of last year. I got a YouTube comment, I think, from this dude named Tickle the Ivory, which I think is like one of Ghost's like biggest fans on music or whatever. Actually, like one of his
Mm,
close friends, and he told me that, and I think at that time, and this was like when I was like really nearing the end of my senior year, and I wasn't really as active on Instagram. I think I think like back then it was like I was inactive since for like 5 months. I wasn't, and then Ghost dropped an album, I think Church of Phoenix, and he had a
yeah.
bunch of guys on it. And then he had this one song called Send Off, which ironically was produced by you. So it's kind of interesting.
Oh
And
yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
you did, yeah, yeah. And this dude Tickle the Ivory messaged me. Was like, "Hey, yo, did you see the new Ghost song? He squashed the beef." But back then, I was still kind of pissed off at this dude, because he said,
Mhm.
like, I mean, you obviously know. I mean, you documented the whole beef and like the whole song, so
Yeah.
you probably know what he said about me. But I was, but yeah, I was very pissed off at him still because he not only talked about me, he talked about my family. And
Yeah.
I don't think people know this, but I honestly, and I never talked about that part of the beef because I was like, I didn't want to keep on feeding my energy and time into this anymore. So I just
Mm.
um, kind of just bottled it all up, and just kept on moving.
Yeah.
But I was really pissed off at that. I was really pissed off that, he talked about my family and he said he was gonna do a bunch of inappropriate things to my mom and all that. And I'm like, and I was
Yeah.
pissed off, man. I was still pissed off. So I didn't believe it. I did hear the song, and he says a couple of bars of where he's like, Ricardo, and if you're listening to this, blah blah blah. Take care of your sister, your mom too. And as far as the beef, y'all can count it through. That shit ain't worth nobody's time. And yeah, I was like, you know what, whatever. But I still wasn't cool with him because I still wasn't ready to move on. And then fast forward a couple months later, it was like July, 3 months after his album had come out, and I dropped this one song called "Chillin'," and that was just like a summer
Yeah.
type of song. And he commented on it, and he liked it. He's like, "Oh, yo, this is pretty cool." And I'm like, "What? Wait a minute. Why is this
Big
man come?"
surprise, I bet.
Yeah, I'm like, "Wait,
Yeah.
why is he commenting on my video? Don't we have like I no?" And then I went on Instagram and I DM'd him again. I was like, "Hey, bro, so we like cool now?" Because in April I wasn't ready to. I didn't want to believe it. I thought that whole song that he made, that send off song, I thought that was just a joke. So I didn't want to believe
Mm.
it. And I asked him, "Yo, bro, so are we cool now?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, we're cool." And I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." And I'm like, because I don't know if, I mean, you probably know this. Me and Ghost were super tight. We were very
Yep.
very
Yeah.
close. Me, you, DJ, we were close. Like a lot of people may or may not know this, but me, you, DJ, and Ghost, we were like the founding fathers of the community.
Yeah, in a
Actually,
sense. Yeah.
in a sense, yeah.
I remember especially from the beginning, like when Ghost did that tournament in during the
Oh
pandemic, that
yeah.
rap tournament. I think that was when I first met you because like I was paired up against you in the tournament and like you commented on like my submission. It was like, damn, this shit is good or something, and I did the same for you. And then I guess we started like talking to each other
Oh
and shit.
yeah.
So I think that was like the very beginning of it. So yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, but basically, he talked to me, I talked to him, and we got we came homies again, and I interviewed him, and I don't know if you heard, but me and him actually released a song together called Kings. And
Oh shit, I didn't. I'll
bro,
check it out when
no,
the
check it
interview's
out, man,
over.
because I don't know if you've really been paying attention to my music, but I don't know, but if you listen to the stuff I've made like since last year, like that song, you would probably see that there's some growth because when we
Yeah, I
in
bet.
oh yeah, man, I'm telling you, but like 2022 last year was probably the best year for music. Like for me
Mm.
especially, man. I've experienced a whole crazy amount of like just growth, and me and Ghost, like we made that song, and that song and Ghost started doing this thing called it's basically like the Grammys, but like the for like the underground community. Like
Mm.
he started doing that last year in December, and basically, you know, you could either submit like an album that you made or a song that you made that will go up against these other songs for like album of the year, song of the year. And I submitted
Mm.
that one, Kings, with him, and surprisingly it won. Like, oh shit. So that's kind of cool.
Damn.
Yeah, man, but
Oh, I think I was that on his like Instagram for like polls.
yeah.
I think I saw it. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember all those submissions, but I do remember seeing that over a few days. Yeah,
Man, but I'm like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, me and Ghost we're pretty cool now. Yeah, and as far as the
yeah. It's good to
community,
see.
yeah, no, it's great, man, cuz me and this man were very close. But I wanted to ask you another question.
Go
So,
for it.
as far as music, like what else are you dabbling in right now? Like what other activities are you performing, or are you like currently interested in?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, getting into college, you got to have a major, right? And so I've been trying to figure out what I want to study. That's mostly what I've been like doing and spending my time doing. I'm learning computer science right now. I think I maybe want to major in computer science. So because both my brother and my dad do it, so that's definitely something I'm consider, and I'm not too bad at it. Another thing I've considered is law or becoming a lawyer, because I really love history and psychology and all that stuff. So those are pretty much what I'm uh, picking between. And then I'm also picking up Spanish because
Oh,
I love
okay.
learning the language.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty much the three main things going on right now. Also playing a lot of soccer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you saw, but I think I posted on my story. In June last year, I got injured. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know if you
really?
saw that, but
That was a
yeah,
long
I fucked up my
Damn,
knee
that
really
sucks.
bad.
Wow.
But I just got back to playing, so I've been doing that a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's been just spending time with family and playing soccer, doing all this other stuff, and yeah, just trying to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Oh yeah, man. That's cool. Actually, before graphic design, I was actually considering computer science. It's like during the
Mm,
pandemic and all that, where I was just curious about it. But I got into it, and I don't know. I just complete kind of it didn't excite me as much. Like, I don't know.
yeah, it's
Um.
definitely hard to get excited by because you're just
Oh
sitting in front
yeah,
of a computer all day.
yeah, and it's just random numbers and symbols and characters and all that. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for like graphic design around, I got into that basically from taking, a class in high school during the pandemic. And
Mm.
I don't know. I just thought it was cool like to make like you could be able to make art using the computer. I think that's
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
yeah, that was cool. And I've actually made my own covers as well.
Yeah, I started saying you were doing that. I think on you made it for Chillin', right? And a
Yeah,
few others.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah,
Have you?
but
Yeah, of course. Have you been? I guess on that topic, have you been looking at like? Have you seen all the new AI art generators?
yep, I've seen that. I think that's
What do
insane.
you been messing around with them? What do you think?
Man, I've, I mean, I've tried them. I think there was this one that I tried out on the computer. Like it told me to like type in something and that it'll make it for you. And I just typed in basically Kendrick Lamar, and it
Hmm.
actually made a picture of a Kendrick, and but it wasn't actually. I mean, it was him basically, but it was like a disfigure and all that. I think AI and like just that's insane. Like, just
Yeah.
the way that's kind of picking up right now, not just in art, but in like music too. I mean, I don't know if you heard, but I saw this one video of this like it was like some sort of pop band. I forgot what they're called, but it was like this AI pop music group that they made a hit song basically and it blew
I
up.
actually didn't.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
it's just basically AI that did that. Like no humans, no nothing. So I think it's crazy how that's like picking up, you know?
Yeah. I also makes you think about like what is the future of music going to look like in the
Yeah.
context of like AI? Like what are we going to be like? Or if is AI going to make music that's like so good that like
Mm.
humans will never be able to make stuff like that anymore? But I guess that's in a while in the future. But it's interesting to think about at least.
Oh yeah, man. And specifically for like hip hop, I don't know if do you still like pay attention to what's going on as far as like in the hip hop scene nowadays?
You mean like in the community or just like the wide world of
Uh,
hip hop?
I mean, just like in the mainstream, I guess. Like,
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, I'm definitely not as involved in it as I used to be, but I mean, I still pay attention, kind of from now and then.
oh no. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if you heard but Kendrick, came back like 5 years later last year and finally dropped the project. I don't know if
Oh,
you
well, yeah, obviously
you
I
checked
saw
that
that.
out. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah,
course I
man.
saw that. Yeah. The
Uh,
I thought it was a pretty sick album.
Mm.
It was really interesting to listen to. I remember listening to it. I was on my way to a tournament, and I just listened to it in the car because it was a long drive, and I thought it
Oh,
was like, damn, this is pretty good. It was worth the wait.
yeah, you know, and it's
Is that what
crazy.
you thought too?
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I'm a huge Kendrick fan. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
you could probably hear it in my music. Like for my second album, that was me just biting off Kendrick. You know, you could
yeah,
probably make it off too obvious, but yeah, man, it's crazy because you know that project. A lot of people say it's a pretty mid project, and it's like not as great as his last couple of albums, which I agree in a sense. I will admit that it's not as exciting as like Damn or his last couple projects, but what I do love about it is just how vulnerable this man is. You know how honest he and unapologetic he really was with that project.
yeah, for sure. There were some tracks in there. They're like We Cry Together. I
Oh
think that was a
yeah.
really hard hitting one. But I think also like I saw a lot of people saying that too. I think that was always going to happen, like regardless of how good the project was, just because there was such a long wait, like 5 6 years, 5 plus
Mhm.
years. Like people were just expecting like some life altering piece of music. But like obviously, he's a human. He can't just do that
Oh
all
yeah.
just with a snap of his fingers. I mean, no matter how long he was working. But I mean, I think for the weight, I think it was definitely pretty good. Especially like I think you can definitely put it up there with Damn and T-Pab and
Oh
um
yeah.
other ones, yeah. But I mean, I think it's just also we have to take more time to like listen to it. It's already been a while, but like I think the legacy of projects is also determined by like how much are people listening to them years and years
Mm.
afterwards. So I guess we'll just have to see about that as well.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, and as far as Kendrick goes, I wish that I don't know, like I just wish he was more, I guess, more open, like kind of did more interviews and it was more on the internet, but at the same time I can kind of understand. But
Yeah. What
like
do you think like about the whole like this was his last album, right? Or at least his last album for TDE.
yeah, it
Am I right about
was.
that?
Yeah, it
What do you think
was.
about that?
You know, TDE is like that's a legendary label. They have J Rock, they have
Yeah.
Schoolboy Q, they have SZA, Absol, and they definitely were like running the rap game like in 2018, 2017, right?
Mhm.
You had SZA's Control, you had Schoolboy Q's Crash Talk, J Rock's Redemption, you had Kendrick with Damn, so they were running the rap game for a while. As far as him leaving, I think it's good for him. I respect the fact that he's doing his own thing. He started PGing and he's trying to kind of now take a backseat, I guess you could say, and kind of give other
Yeah.
rappers like the crown that he so had for like such a long time. Like Baby Keem and Tana Leone.
Yeah.
But again, but without Kendrick, besides SZA, it's TD is not going to be. I feel like it's not going to be as exciting anymore. I mean, of course, you still have Absol. He dropped Herbert, his latest album, like, and in November last year, SZA dropped SOS. Two great projects. But
Hmm.
I just feel like the excitement in that label, it's not really the same with Kendrick not
Yeah.
there anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think like he was pretty much the face of the label,
Mm.
and now there's gonna be like I guess kind of like a power gap. Not really like power, but like someone else has got to be the face of the label now. So like, who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be SZA? Is it gonna be I knew someone else? Like we don't
Oh
know.
yeah, man.
But I think the future and like how they're gonna adapt to that now is gonna be interesting to see. But I mean, also like I think it's also exciting to see what Kendrick is doing now with like you said with like PG Lang and other endeavors as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the future and also the future of the label as well.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. But and speaking of like the current state of rap, have you been paying attention to, I guess, our community or like what the community is doing as far as music goes?
Yeah, a little bit. I look at Instagram every so often. I look at I think Ghost is probably the most active member on Instagram. I see him
Mhm.
posting stuff all the
Yeah.
time. Sometimes it's like really random fucking
Yeah.
uh I don't know, thoughts that he has or something. I don't know. I really sometimes I just can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, me either.
But sometimes he posts some stuff about the community or like what's going on, and I see like especially like Slicka and
Oh yeah.
a few others are doing collabs and like pumping out music all the time. It's awesome to see. I listen to it from time to time. It's pretty good. So shout out Slicka and everyone else. Um, but yeah, I check in from time to time, see how things are going, and you know, it's good to see people still like doing their thing. Because like I remember Ghost said when like after a while, like after he left initially, like the community like died kind of in a way. So I'm glad it hasn't like died, I guess, like he had said. It's still definitely there. I think it even expanded a little bit because like I see some of the artists that
Yeah.
people have been mentioning, like I've never heard of before, but I mean, that's just how it goes. Like, so it's expanding, I think, to an extent, which is good because I like to see like the reach and impact, I guess, kind of
Mm.
growing past where it was originally. So, I mean, I like to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as it expanding, I was talking to a Kenji about that actually last summer. I think in July or something or in August, I interviewed him. Um,
Mm,
I think he was like one of the first guys I interviewed because the underdogs. I don't know if you heard, but I started like season two, like
yeah.
back in the summer. So this is actually
Mm,
one of the episodes from season two that I'm doing with you right now. But with Kenji,
dope.
yeah, we were talking about that. Like, and he told me, bro, there's like so many fucking people in the community. And we're like, like half these bitches, I don't even know. Like, I was like, yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and as far as me, I don't even know anybody. Like I said, I'm not in tune with the community as much anymore. I still work with people, but I don't know a lot of
Yeah.
people. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy too, and but and also, I think Kenji was telling me that there's still people like the new guys that are coming in that are, being mad, disrespectful, that are saying that they're better than every other rapper here. Like, I'm better than all of you guys. Like, you guys are garbage and all that. I'm like, man. And I think
Yeah.
it's like, wow, like people still have it's like instead of just, working on your craft and just trying to focus on you, people are still, trying to like go against each other. And I'm like, wow. And that's like, man, know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that. I remember in, like the early days when people were like doing the what you're talking about, like
Mm.
thinking they're the shit and everything. I was just thinking to myself, like, none of us are the shit. Like we are, the whole point is
Oh,
that it's called the underground community, as in like we're not very good, but like we're trying to improve all together. So it was really annoying to see that. Um, and yeah, I think like especially with like the expansion, I think it was really cool to see because as you said, like me and you and Ghost and DJ, a few others were like the founders of the community. So I really enjoy. I don't know about you, but I really enjoy seeing it like grow, even though I'm not like actively participating in it anymore, and seeing it um, grow to the extent like we've got like subgroups within like the wider community, and seeing some of them like make big moves. So I really enjoy seeing that from time to time.
yeah. I mean, as far as me goes, I mean, I think it's cool that, they're growing and all that. And I'm actually, I've seen some guys that are actually already like doing live shows. So I think it's kind of cool.
Mm,
Um, I definitely like want to do that too, man. Like, this
yeah,
summer I for sure want to do something like that because I think one thing is making music, from your computer and like releasing it and having people like it or comment on it. That's a great feeling, but I think it's even more like powerful and just more intriguing to be able to go on a stage and to perform it and kind of just see people's reactions, and like
yeah, definitely.
their smiles or them bobbing their heads back and forth. I think that to me is beautiful.
Yeah,
So that's what I
maybe
want to
like
for sure do.
yeah, you like develop a connection with the people who you make music that like consume your music. So I think that's really cool to see.
Yeah, man, it is, bro. It is. And like it's and you know, as I was telling you, like last year I exhibited a huge amount of growth and to the point where like in my Spotify, like it was absolutely insane. Like a lot of people were streaming the shit out of my music. Like that second album, Trials and Tribulations, that dropped like 2 years ago, and for some reason, like this past December, it just blew up. It just blew up. Like I
Yeah,
think it got like 600,000 streams. I don't know how, but something happened, and it's crazy. Like I was getting DMs from people telling me, "Bro, you're a great storyteller. Keep on doing this," and that absolutely um it motivated me. I was like, "Wow, crazy." Because I remember like a year ago, I was still trying to find myself musically. I was still trying to just kind of see where I fit in rap, without having to fight other rappers. So, and I think it's like, wow, bro,
yeah,
like people are telling me that, bro, keep on doing this music, man. Like you're doing it now, and I'm like, wow. But I think evolution is I think evolution is kind of one thing that keeps me from not leaving rap because I'm
hmm
looking, and I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to the future. It's not just like professionally, like if for a job or anything, but also just for music because I'm looking forward to see what I can do the next couple of years. I might not even like what I'm making now in the next couple of years. I might like it now
yeah,
because like, yo, this is great. But in a couple of years, I might like that stuff better than this stuff. So it's
right.
really the whole thing of evolution that keeps me from like not leaving rap, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I remember one night I was looking, I was like, I wonder how everyone's Spotify is doing. And I was looking at yours and I was like, holy shit, like hundreds of thousands of streams. It's
I don't
unbelievable
know,
to
man.
see.
I don't know.
Um,
It's
yeah, I
it's
remember like
weird.
I remember seeing that. I was like, damn, that's really awesome to see. And I was like, that also this is kind of unrelated, but I just reminded me of it. That reminded me of Dan on Spotify, the music I made
I've
with my
seen that.
brother, the
I've
few
seen that.
songs.
Yeah.
That was another one of the reasons that I decided to like it was a less like contributing reason, but I was like it was definitely one of the reasons I decided to stop making music. Even
Oh,
but like
really?
I saw because I had a bunch of fun making like these like obviously shitty songs with my brother, and then we put them up there and we was like, okay, whatever, that's out there now, but we had fun making it. And then I look back there like every so often I was seeing like, man, we were getting like hundreds and hundreds of streams, and now like thousands and thousands, and like there's hundreds and hundreds of monthly listeners. And I was like, damn, what is like I'm putting so much effort in all this beonby stuff, like, and like She's a Brick is getting like hundreds of more streams than it.
Mm.
It wasn't like one of the main things that contributed, but I was like, it just like I was already so demotivated, like I told you, but like that was really just like, man, that's really shitty to see. But now I think it's kind of funny because I look on Dan on Spotify every so often because we haven't made music in like a year, and I see like we still have like thousands of streams and like hundreds of monthly listeners, and it's really funny to see. So
Man, that is crazy.
yeah,
All right, hold on a minute. I'm gonna like turn on the light in here. A little bit dark.
no worries.
Oh, that's way better. Way better.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but I actually got a new face cam as well.
I didn't, but
Did it?
it looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because my face cam used to be all I used my laptop face cam used to be all, hazy and the bad res bad up resolution and all that, but I managed to get one for Christmas, so I'm happy
Mm.
with it, it's nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. But speaking of like I guess face cams, that being something that's related to YouTube. Um, do you ever see yourself coming back to YouTube uploading content again?
Um, I would say like it's definitely more likely than music, because like
Oh,
even
okay.
though I really didn't like making the music anymore, I still thought it was like kind of fun every once in a while like make a YouTube video, because I remember I stopped making a lot of YouTube videos obviously because of school and like
Yeah.
personal stuff, and I said that in like the one of the last videos I made. But I really did like find it fun to like every once in a while grab the mic and talk about this guy made this song or this person is beefing with this person or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
um yeah, the one thing that was like demotivating about it though was when I was making like a video every single day during like breaks and stuff, because that was like exhausting, because then I would just resort to making like 2-minute track reviews where I was just like, well, this is a shit song, 2 out of 10. But I do think it's something that is definitely more likely than me coming back to music. But I mean, I just have to have more time to do it. It's like maybe this summer, like I'll think about it again. But I mean, even if like right now, I couldn't even do it if I wanted to. But I mean, if this summer I have some free time and I start thinking about like what videos I want to make and have something to talk about, then it's definitely something that I definitely consider.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? Like you said, I actually the last video I watched from you was you doing a review on Kenji's Renaissance. And
I think that
yeah,
was the last one I uploaded as well.
yeah, that was. Yeah. And you mentioned, yeah, that, school is it's getting, more harder, I guess. Well, I mean, not hard, but I guess, more time consuming. So yeah, man.
Yeah, it's only gotten worse since then as well.
Oh, man. Yeah, and it's kind of interesting, for me, I haven't done too much content either. I want to do more because I watch like in my free time, or if I'm eating, or if I'm just doing whatever. Um it seems like the whole YouTube scene, as far as like hip hop content goes, is greatly evolved. Like you have people doing
Mhm.
um like, and even when you look at like YouTube shorts, people have these videos of which rapper has the most streams, or which album has like most um I guess re replay value, sorry. But I
Yeah.
think like the whole hip hop content thing on YouTube is evolving, and I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen like YouTubers collaborate with each other, and it's just is
Mhm.
really. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I wish I could do like a tier list video, or I wish I could um like collaborate with someone on YouTube on like a on something. Like we could talk about like an album, like review an album, or just
Yeah.
kind of like rank, do a song ranking tier list on this artist. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like does that ever like motivate you to like maybe upload again? Like just kind of seeing like the more popular scope of hip hop as far as like content goes?
I would be lying if I say it didn't ever like affect me. Like I obviously like I watch a bunch of YouTube in my free time, and I see like on shorts especially, but also in like longer form videos, I see a bunch of hip hop content. I think, damn, it's pretty interesting to see, because like 3 years ago or even like a year ago to an extent, like I definitely wasn't seeing as much of this. So to see it like expanding almost like with the community, I can see like it's pretty cool to see that. And it's definitely given me some ideas, like for if I was ever to make a comeback to YouTube about like something I can talk about, because that was also one of the main problems with YouTube videos, because I was making so many that I just ran out of ideas eventually. Um, and so it was helpful to see a lot of videos like that on YouTube, so I could get like ideas about what to do, like in the future potentially. And it is something that like once again coming back to that topic, that if I do decide to return to YouTube potentially maybe this summer or sometime after that, that if I was to, then I could definitely use some of that as inspiration. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, and you know what we should do? Like if you do come back to YouTube during the summer, me and you should like collaborate on a video. I think that would be huge,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Once
like,
again, you'll be the first to know.
oh yeah, man. Like, um, yeah, speaking of like hip hop, how do you feel about, I guess, because I don't know if you heard, but you know, I don't know, like just how do you feel about like your favorite artists, like let's say Eminem and like them kind
Mm.
of how do you feel they fit into like this new generation of rap? Because he hasn't dropped in like 3 years, and it's really become a tradition where like um young music listeners or just young rich hip hop artists kind of feel that the need and the tendency to diss others that came before them. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I do think there's like I do think there's something to be said about that. Like especially a lot of new artists, like you said, are dissing like I guess like not founders, but like the old generation of rap. I think that sucks. I mean, honestly, like they don't deserve that. I mean, they did so much for the genre and for the culture as well. Like they don't deserve it. But I mean, I guess it's just kind of like the new trend almost, like to be so arrogant about it and like ignorant about you know people that came before you and like what they did for to help you get into this position. There are a lot of new artists that I think are really promising, and like you said, like Baby Keem. There are some others that
Yes.
really respect the older generations and want to work with them and collaborate to make the future generations better. But then conversely, there's also some artists that are doing nothing to help the image of hip hop. But
Yeah.
um, like I think just a few days ago, 6ix9ine just got beat up in some bathroom.
Yeah, he did,
I don't know
man.
if you heard about
Yeah,
that.
I did hear
I
about
thought
that.
I thought the
Oh
video is
man,
pretty hilarious
it
because
was.
his hair got all fucked up and it was really funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the artists I think like is doing absolutely nothing to help. Um, but yeah, I definitely think like the generation of like oldie artists is probably coming to an end. I mean, 50
Yeah.
Cent is like an old man. Dr. Dre is an old man. Eminem's an old man. He's probably gonna drop like one more album maybe in this year or next year. Who knows? But like realistically, their time is coming to an end. Um, but yeah, I do think the new generation is promising, but there's definitely some aspects of it that are pretty shitty. But I mean, only time will tell what we'll see. But I mean, overall, I think it's pretty positive. I think it's moving in a good direction for the
Oh
most
yeah.
part.
Yeah, man. And it sucks because like specifically talking about Eminem, it's really become a custom nowadays to just say that, oh, he fell off, that he doesn't speak to younger audiences anymore. His last Music to Be Murdered By wasn't a great project, or he's just kind of like a one trick pony. Personally, for me, I want to see Eminem just prove everybody wrong. I want him to drop a phenomenal project, kind of like the way that Nas is doing with his like legendary
Yeah.
3 album run. I
Hmm.
Obviously it's not his Eminem's next album might not sound like that, but I want him to drop an album that can be talked about as much as like the King's Disease series, you know,
Yeah.
just to prove everybody
Yeah.
wrong. I feel like he can do it.
I, Yeah, I think he probably will. Honestly, there's no like guaranteeing it, but
Yeah, but
I mean, I think he probably knows that like, for last album, gotta do something great, just like cement your legacy. I mean, obviously he has nothing left to prove, but like just like one more good album and like it's done.
yeah, man. Really.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited for it. It's probably gonna be a surprise album that'll just come out of nowhere. Might have dropped like 3 seconds ago. We don't know. But
Exactly. Damn.
um whenever it does drop, if it does drop, I think it'll be good. But it's just something that we can't predict the future. We just gotta wait and see what happens.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and also like if you go on Twitter, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's been like a bunch of fans think that he's dropping a third installment in the Marshall Mathers LP series, and people have
I haven't
actually
seen that. No,
yeah, and like people have actually made like their own
interesting.
like fan made covers and like have
Mm,
wrote down like a fan made track list or whatever, and it's crazy like and there's like a lot of features that the fans think that Eminem will potentially have on his next project. So you have a Kendrick, Andre 3000, Jay Z, Baby Keem, Don Tolliver, um, who else? I think Rihanna, Drake, and just SZA. Like, and
yeah,
it's just like what the fuck? And like, and as far as the producers go, people think that it's gonna be a Metro Boomin. slash Hit Boy slash Dr. Dre produced project, and I'm like, what in the world? And it's crazy because half these people that are on that presumed like track list, I don't see Eminem like collaborating with some of these people because how is he gonna make that work? And especially like there's this one feature, The Weekend, that's gonna be on his project. I'm like, what? I think it's cool, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's all rumors, but like, I think, I think he knows like what he works well with. So at the end of the
mhm,
day, like, he's obviously gonna have some big names on there. I mean, realistically, any Eminem can get anyone for a feature, but like, I think he can. He's probably gonna get people that he knows like he works the best with. Um, so I mean, we might see Royce the 5'9" on there. We might see Dr. Dre maybe for
yeah,
some quick thing. We might see Snoop Dogg. I don't know, but whoever we do see, I think it's gonna work well with him because like last project probably. I mean, he knows he's gotta make it work. So going back to that point, like whoever he does have on it, it'll work. I think, but we gotta see.
yeah, man, no,
Yeah.
for sure. The just another question I have for you. Um, you know, you mentioned that you don't really do too much music or too much YouTube anymore. Well, I mean, the YouTube thing is left for interpretation. You feel like you're gonna come back to it, but in a couple of years, like where do you see yourself? This could be like professionally, or just where do you see yourself?
Um, I don't know, man. That's a deep question. I mean, like short term, obviously, I'm planning on going to college. I'm gonna work hard and get my degree. Gonna work on myself personally and um, uh, try and like improve all aspects of my life. Mentally, physically, athletically. So I mean, that's like constant goals, like consistent long-term goals. So I'm gonna go to college. As far as music goes, I have no idea. I mean, like it's, I roll with the punches, take things as it goes. It is what it is kind of
Yeah,
mentality. Um, so if one day I'm like, fuck it, I really want to start rapping again or making music of any kind, or then I'll start doing it. If I want to start making YouTube videos again, then I'll do it. But I mean, it's really difficult to determine because like in my life, I've seen there's been like a lot of things that I was like dead set on, like that I knew I wanted to do, but then like things change so quickly that
yeah.
like you never really know. So I don't know. It's probably a shitty answer, but like
No,
I
no,
really
man,
have
no,
no
that's
idea.
great.
It's
That's great. Yeah.
just like yeah, I just kind of see what happens and take it day by day. You know what I mean?
No, man, that's really how it should be. I think that like I don't know. Um, I don't know if you ever feel like this, but I mean, have you just ever been like as far as school goes, and you have like your teachers bombarding you with like a bunch of assignments. Like, do you ever just like come home from like a long, tiresome day at school and you're like, man, I really do not feel like doing this. But have you ever just kind of like told yourself, no, but I have to do it, it's got to get done. Like as far
Yeah.
as like motivation to do the schoolwork, does that come easy to you or does it take some time? Because I know like I have friends that huge procrastinator, so
Mm.
as far as you, I'm interested in like knowing more about that. How do you deal with motivation? Do you just like sit down and be like, all right, put the phone down, start working? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I would say like I'm pretty blessed. Like I have naturally, I think, good motivation. Like when I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna get done. Um, for schoolwork, especially, like I hate having like work to do. So it's almost like the idea of like something on my mind that has to be done, but I know I'm not doing it is like it almost like annoys me. So I just like do it to get it done. But not just like to get it done, but like I also like try and do it well. But there are definitely days where I'm like, I just come home and I either feel like really shitty, like I had a shitty day, or like I'm just not feeling great. But like, I don't know. I just sometimes like try and like disconnect from my
Mm,
subconscious and like without even realizing it, I like just walk over to my desk and I sit down, like
Oh,
I put my phone over somewhere else and I just open my computer or my,
yeah.
I don't know, folders or whatever and just start doing shit. And like as soon as I like get to work, that takes off like 90% of the pressure. Cause like the most difficult thing for getting to work is like just starting it, I found.
Yeah.
So if you're just able
Yes.
to start it, I found that like makes it way easier because then you get in the zone after like 30, 40 minutes. So yeah. Um, especially because like I mean I've always been a hardworking person, not to like toot my own horn or whatever,
No,
but
man. No, man. I
um
mean, if you're a hardworking person, that's not something you should be ashamed of for sure. Say it,
yeah.
Sure,
So
yeah.
I always try and just like do what I can, do the best I can, and that's always been like good motivation for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's a great answer. I absolutely relate to that, man. There's certain days where I don't want to do it. I have like three different assignments from, you know, because in college I take like three classes, but they're
Mm,
like 3 hours long. But obviously they're spread out on like different days. Like for photography, for my past winter term schedule, I had photography on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then that was just one class. That was like in the afternoon around 2. And I was done by
mhm,
5 o'clock, and then I had a public speaking. That was Tuesdays and Thursdays. That was in the morning from 9 o'clock to 10:50. And then I had one online class. It was like the history of graphic design, and that was online. But
yeah,
yeah, man. Still, but and it's like I come home and I know I have to do it. And there's times where I'm like, and obviously first I eat, and then I'm like, now
yeah,
I gotta go and actually do it, man. Um,
yeah,
and and then I start thinking about like times where I was free and I had free time, like in the summer. But like you said to yourself, you just kind of have to push yourself to do it. You have to find that dedication and motivation. And I'm very good at just kind of being focused on, you know, like you on the task at hand. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man. But it's definitely work though, because there's some times where you just want to relax. Turn on the TV and lay on the couch. You don't really want to do that.
yeah,
It's you have to do it, or else because like realistically speaking, who's gonna do it for you, right? Like this is your
yeah,
job, your future.
exactly.
If you care about it, you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it.
yeah.
But right, do you have any questions for me? Because I'm not just trying to bombard you with questions. Like, what do you have to ask me? I'm trying to make this so what I try to do with these interviews, I try to just also make it like it's not just me doing the questions. I try to make it like a sort of,
Yeah,
I don't know, like like an actual conversation, right? Like, so what do
sure,
you,
yeah.
yeah, so what do you have to ask
I
me?
guess like I guess what I'm interested to know, like what are your plans, I guess? Like ask the question you like where do you see yourself? I know it's difficult to say, but like do you have any like plans you like know you want to do, or like I know you're in school for graphic design right now, like
Mm.
is that like you definitely something you want to do in the future? Like how do you see that playing out? Like do you have any other plans like physically, mentally, I don't know,
Oh, wow.
personally, professionally? Yeah.
Yeah, man. For sure it's graphic design, man. I honestly what I want to do is after I graduate from PSU and get my bachelor's, I for sure I want to work for Nike. Like
Mm,
design their shoes because I thought it was always cool to see it's kind of like the collaborations that I guess Nike and like, famous artists would do. I'm like, I want to do that.
mm,
I think it's cool.
yeah,
And just also to have that design like on a billboard, and I'm proud to say that, I made that. I made that and that's on
yeah,
a billboard. Like I think that's the best feeling, ever. When like you make something that is recognized to that level, I think that's the best feeling ever. But as far as yeah, yeah, in a couple of years, man, I see myself, just doing what I love, graphic design, and definitely still making music for sure. I hope that I definitely don't. um like keep on doing that. Um because I just feel like there's gonna be so much things I could rap about, you know,
Mhm.
and I see myself I just, living comfortably. Like I'm not trying to be rich. I'm not trying to, make a crazy amount of money. Just, live comfortably to the point where I'm good and I don't know, and just hopefully starting a family. I don't know. Because I've seen like we said earlier in the interview, Cloudy's having a baby and I think Ghost as well.
Oh,
And
really? Oh, damn.
yeah, yeah, like he just had his
Congrats to
baby
Ghost.
actually. Yeah, he did, man. Yeah, and I think even for some reason, I was looking at the chat yesterday or this, yeah, yesterday, and I think DJ apparently says he might be having a baby too. I don't know,
My
but I'm
God.
like,
Everyone in the community is
I know, man,
just
just growing
popping
up,
them out.
man. Yeah, and it's just growing up.
That's
And
awesome.
it is awesome. So yeah, I see myself living comfortably, being happy with my job, to the point where I don't have to work, 9 to 5s anymore.
Yeah,
um
that's the
and
dream.
yeah, man. And also, just, living happy with family, my future wife, whoever that may be. Yeah, it's kind of where I see myself, but
Yeah, sounds good. I think it'd be super dope to work for Nike. I mean, obviously, like, I don't think I'm gonna go into graphic design, but I can totally see how, like, it would be cool to do that. Like, being able, obviously, like the analogy you gave, like driving on the highway and seeing, like, damn, I made that shoe that's on that
yeah,
billboard right there. That's like pretty sick to see.
that is it's very amazing, man. Um, well, I think that. Do you have any other questions for me? Like beside that, maybe?
Um, Not really, no. I think we kind of covered all our bases here.
Yeah, man, I think we did. Well, man, all I have to say that it's been a great interview, man. I definitely I didn't think
Yeah,
that you were actually gonna, I guess, change your mind and do this. I was definitely looking forward to this. I feel like we definitely covered a lot of interesting points. People probably
yeah,
had a good time watching this. Yeah, man.
yeah. Hopefully,
I
it
hope.
was good talking to you as well.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. You've changed a lot, man. I'm telling you, like, just got the beard and everything,
Yeah,
man. I'm like, I'm like 20 years old and I don't even have a beard like that yet, right? Like, man,
I guess I just got lucky.
no, yeah, man. Yeah, and like it's interesting too, because I have a friend named Dominic and he has a similar beard like that too. And I'm like, bro, how do you guys even do it, man? I'm still having like my baby face right here, man. I don't know. Like, man, it's embarrassing. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, man, great interview, bro. It's been great talking to you. I hope we can definitely do
yeah,
something, whether that's YouTube or just, make a song, let me know. And
yeah, for
yeah, man.
sure.
It's been fun. And till the next one. See ya.
Yeah,
All right, guys, that was the interview with beonby. Hope you guys enjoyed and let me know who I should interview next. This has been episode 4 of The Underdogs, and I will see you guys in the next episode.
Let me say this louder for the people in the back. Wait, so you can't hear me? Well, that's too motherfucking bad. You know I only spit facts, I don't miss a match. If you hear something